the Enhanced Games, aka the Steroid Olympics. We'll talk you through what it is, what sports are involved, which athletes will be competing, what drugs are allowed, the rules, the prize money, and of course, the controversy surrounding it, which there is quite a lot.
If anybody breaks the 100-metre world record for sprinting, $1 million.
Is it? You're tempted, aren't you? I'm after get training, Christ almighty. Juice me up, baby.
$1 million.
Welcome to the Fit Dads Podcast. My name is Ryan Dutton. I'm joined by the powerhouse that is Brad Thompson today. And we're going to be talking about the Enhanced Games, aka the Steroid Olympics. We'll talk you through what it is, what sports are involved, which athletes will be competing, what drugs are allowed, the rules, the prize money, and of course, the controversy surrounding it, which there is quite a lot.
Massive ethical issues.
But before we get into today, mate, how's your week been? All right?
It's been all right. I'm trying to think what I've been up to. It's just been house stuff, getting my head down, kicking on.
Battling people online.
Yeah.
We've had some controversy, guys. We probably should share this with you. The last two episodes we've done got a bit of kickback. First one being the Manosphere, the Louis Theroux documentary. We got called out online on YouTube for being
gay.
Gay for one, yeah.
Gay.
Blue pill beaters, I believe, was the phrase used.
Definitely been cheated on.
Cheated on. That was the other one. Yeah. So we've had a little bit of pushback on the old Manosphere episode. And a lot of support, of course, from people. Yeah. And then the second one was the Matt Mortier comments around how he would rather his kid was healthy than knew maths and was intelligent. And it was quite a provocative statement. And we posted that reel on Monday, didn't we? And it got some real kickback. People very opinionated. Teachers commenting, people who've got kids, people who I think don't have kids chiming in. We've had a few little, scuffles online in the comment section. I really try and avoid that stuff, but I got drawn into one. Some bloke really annoyed me with his comment. He was talking about how it was hypocritical and coming out of all the kind of bravado words, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have my 2 pence say here. So we got into it a little bit, but you came in afterwards, took over, and were very diplomatic about the situation.
I always like to do that sort of stuff, and when you message me to say, like,
I've lost my head.
I've lost my head. What do I do now? And I don't know, like, I don't really try and indulge in this too much, if you know what I mean. But if it's there and I think people are shit-talking unnecessarily, we just have to educate or at least prompt different ways of thinking.
Yeah. I'm always up for a debate, but I think the people I feel like we've been speaking to about this generally online in the comments section are just very one-track minded. And some of them I don't even think had kids. So like you've got no skin in the game, but you've got so many opinions about this. Yeah. But it's just interesting, isn't it? I mean, I'm always up for a good debate with people. Exactly. And I've changed my mind so many times on things. I have debates with clients all the time in sessions about certain topics. And I'm always changing my mind on certain opinions. But I do think it's fascinating. And it was good for our algorithm, wasn't it? It got us a lot of views, a lot of traction. But today we're going to talk about the Enhanced Games. Have you got some notes on this one?
I have indeed. And the first one, I mean, for the sake of the listener, the Enhanced Games, it is literally as it sounds. This is enhanced individuals, not bionically, all right, from drugs and stuff. People who are competing against each other. I've always joked to say I'd probably want to see people run 100 metres in like 6 seconds. I just think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But ethically, it's not until you dive into it and you go, at what cost? What are we doing? Why do we need to see this?
Should we give people a bit of a rundown of what the Enhanced Games exactly is?
Let's do it.
The Enhanced Games, also known as TEG, is a planned multi-sport event founded by Australian businessman Aaron D'Souza. It plans to allow athletes to use performance-enhancing substances without being subject to drug tests, with organisers claiming these substances are FDA approved and under the medical supervision of doctors. D'Souza framed the concept as an effort to create superhumanity, arguing that a competition that demands transparency without the substances athletes are using is actually safer and fairer than many of the current leagues and events which struggle to police steroid use. I do agree with those to a certain extent. I think if you were to go to the Olympics and you had a lie detector and you went for every single athlete and let's say you had the most, up-to-date, advanced, it was a very clear yes or no, is this athlete on something? I think we'd probably be shocked at how many athletes in the Olympics are actually taking something here and there. When you get to that very, very top elite level sport and you're talking about fine margins.
Yeah.
So he's basically come in and said, can we create games with more transparency? Everyone's on the same stuff. Everyone competes a little bit harder. Chances are there's going to be more world records broke. D'Souza says the idea came to him in 2022 when he noticed that many people at his American gym were obviously using steroids. His view is that the IOC is corrupt for exploiting athletes, and that WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Agency, is an anti-science police force. And, the WADA itself is, it's littered with people and incidents, shall we say, that have caused controversy. I think the main one historically was probably the Sochi Winter Olympic Games?
Yes.
Where Russia basically got banned because essentially all their athletes were on something. They uncovered this huge plot inside a WADA facility where there was did you watch what was the documentary called? It was
it wasn't Icarus, was it?
Icarus, yeah.
Okay.
So the documentary Icarus, if you've not seen that, by the way, wow, what a documentary. Go and watch it straight away if you're into this kind of stuff. On that, a Russian WADA employee came out and said the whole building was rigged. They had electrical sockets that came out, and behind the electrical socket was tubes where you could filter in positive and negative tests, essentially.
Jeez.
And this all got uncovered, and Russia got banned from the Olympics for a few years. Are they still banned? I don't know. They're in all sorts of wars. Yeah. They're doing drugs. I mean,
they're busy doing other stuff.
There's constantly something going on with them. So when and where is the Enhanced Games? Well, it's going to take place in Las Vegas over Memorial Day weekend in 2026 this year, which is May 21st to May 24th at Resorts World Las Vegas. So great place to hold it.
Why not? Will you be watching it?
I would be watching it. Maybe, yeah. I think it'd be quite cool.
Yeah, interesting.
Why not? It's not going to be on the BBC, right? So I might have to dig a little bit deeper and try and get it on some. But I'd be up for watching some of the events, absolutely. What sports are featured? Swimming events include the 50-metre freestyle, 100-metre freestyle, 50-metre butterfly, and the 100-metre butterfly. Track events are the 100-metre race and 110-metre hurdles. Weightlifting, the snatch, and the clean and jerk are the events. Organisers said they deliberately chose fast-paced events designed to hold viewers' attention. So it's going to be all the big ones, basically. The ones that we want to see. The 100 metres, the fast sprints on the swimming, and the weightlifting. That'll be interesting.
Weightlifting will be really interesting.
Athletes then. Who's competing? Most notable Greek Olympic swimmer, Christian, and I'm going to get his name wrong here, Glockamev. He broke the long-standing 50-metre freestyle world record with a time of 20.89 seconds under the Enhanced Games programme, surpassing the 2009 benchmark. So it was actually, that record was set in 2009, and he broke it recently I assume, in training for the Enhanced Games. It was going to be so interesting to see how many records are actually broken.
It makes you wonder, what's the legitimacy of these records, though, being broken?
But also, if not that many records are broke, what does that say about the Olympics? Does that point the fingers to the Olympics and go, well, these guys are fucking banging it?
I don't know, because there's so many... My brain then went to, what does it say about these athletes? These athletes could have just been bang average, middle of the pack Olympic athletes.
True.
Do you know what I mean? And if they just boosted up to get anywhere near where top 1% Olympians are, maybe it's that. Again, I'm just throwing nuance out there, which has been my fucking word of the weekend.
Nuance. I've seen that a lot in the comment section.
Honestly.
Other people who are competing, British swimmer 2004 Olympic 50-metre freestyler. He actually won silver at the 2024 Games. Ben Proud announced he will be joining American sprinter and 2022 100-metre world champion Fred Curley. So we've got a 50-metre British freestyle swimmer, and an American sprinter also in the games. World's Strongest Man champion Hafthor Bjornsson will be participating, attempting to break his own 510 deadlift world record.
Wow.
That's not an Olympic sport,
No.
the deadlift. But I feel like they've got that in just because they're like, he's a big bloke, he's doing crazy things, everyone loves the deadlift, let's get him involved. Which I think is quite cool. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Diversifying the sports within this the games. Other confirmed athletes are Isabella Arisilla, Natalia. That's a Polish name that I have no.
Do you want me to try it?
Yeah,
Let's try
you have a
it,
go.
try it.
No, sorry, I've just scrolled down. Let me go back to that one. It's there in that one. Natalia,
where are we? Natalia Frachowska.
Frachowska. Do you want to go for the rest of them?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, you go.
So Natalia Frachowska, Felipe Lima, Max Makuska. Why did I struggle with that one? Evgeny Somov, sprinter Emmanuel Matardi, and weightlifter Beatrice Piron.
I don't recognise any of those names, but if you're into the Olympics and high-level sports, I guess you might know who they are. Sprinters Taylor Anderson, Marvin Bracey, Clarence Munyai, Reese Prescott, Shokoria Wallace are also confirmed, including 2 former Olympians and former NFL players. This it's interesting with who's competing, because is it essentially, it's like a death sentence for you ever competing in the Olympics again, isn't it?
Yep.
Because you automatically get banned if you take any enhanced things. You're waving goodbye to the Olympic Games forever. You're waving goodbye to any tested federations forever. And it's a bit of a gamble. You're kind of going all in on this being the next big thing and, being around for a long time. Because if this doesn't do very well as an athlete, you kind of pigeonholed yourself into just being an enhanced athlete forever.
But then you're saying yes to dollar.
Yeah.
Because to confirm, I don't know if you've got any notes on this. If anybody breaks the 100-meter world record for sprinting, $1 million.
Is it?
$1 million. You're tempted, aren't you?
I might have to get training. Christ almighty. Juice me up, baby.
$1 million. $1 million.
If they break the 100-meter world record.
I don't know if that's across every event, but I've heard that the swimmer recently who you mentioned, I'm sure he got quite a big payout. And his entire ethos for competing is like, look, I'm never going to win like Olympic gold medal. I'm never going to get on podium. The career's quite short. I want to support my family. Yeah. If I have an opportunity to go and earn this money, a substantial amount of money, why would I not consider it? And if this is successful, I'm not sure if this is going to become the way that the Saudis approach boxing.
Yeah.
Because as a boxer, why on earth would you take a fight here when if you go and fight in Saudi, it might be 4 or 5 times the amount? Tyson Fury's famously come out and said, I'll never fight here again. He said, I'll never fight here again.
I'm a fighting man.
I'm a fighting man.
Great.
More can be.
Great impression, that.
But why would you? Why would you look and you go, I can do the same job for 4 or 5 times more money. Still going to get punched in the face, but I get some moolah.
Well, there was an Irish athlete that came out that is competing in the Enhanced Games, and he said, I got paid by the National Athletics Association of Ireland 18,000 euros it was over there, isn't it? 18,000 euros for the year to compete. That's all he got from funding. He said that didn't even cover my travel and hotels for the year. Travel and hotels for the year were more than £18,000. I mean, he's gone all over the world, most months doing different things, training. These guys, of course, have sponsorship deals and they'll get money through that. But he's like, if you've got obviously they get paid nothing for the Olympics, by the way. When you win an event in the Olympics, your prize is the gold medal.
I think you still get something for a world record.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Get a payout?
Yeah, I'm sure you get a payout.
Check.
I'm sure you do.
Pull that up, Jamie.
God's sake. Joe Rogan reference.
But I think, I think if you don't win anything, you put all that time and effort in there, you don't come away with silver, bronze, gold, I'm pretty sure you get nothing, right? There's no payouts at all.
Olympic athletes get paid for breaking a world record, but it's not directly from the IOC. Payments usually comes from sport-specific governing bodies like World Athletics, offering $100,000.
Wow.
For records.
Wow.
Which I think is pretty.
That is good.
For being the best in the world and breaking.
Okay.
The only reason I know that is there was a pole vaulter, Swedish guy, and he broke the world record twice. in one afternoon.
Wow. Did he get paid twice?
You did, yeah.
Did he?
Broke it twice.
That's amazing.
Broke his own world record.
If you break your own world record, you
Imagine
get
that.
paid twice.
But I put it up by half a centimetre. Just
Was-
do it.
Hold on a minute. I think I heard about this. Wasn't this guy a bit of a prodigy? And
Yeah.
everyone was saying that he could have done the other one, but he went for the lower world record first, knowing that he'd probably get his second one as well.
Armand Duplantis, his name is.
This rings a bell.
And he's a proper G, to be fair. He's incredible.
If he's gamed the system there, I absolutely love that.
That's it. I just think if you're going to be tactical, oh God, he's 26 years old. Jesus Christ. I'd love to be 26 again.
And with knees that could take me up over a pole vault.
What were you doing at 26?
What was I doing at 26? I was probably...
Careful how you answer this.
yeah. Heavily into like gym, bodybuilding, trying to get as massive as possible. That was my kind of sole aim in life, and
Fair.
building my business and probably out every other weekend on the Raz a little bit as well.
Fair play.
Yeah, definitely not doing what he's doing. Only 100 grand for setting world records.
Unbelievable.
So what drugs are allowed? Athletes will be allowed to take substances that are legal in the United States and prescribed by a licensed doctor. Examples include testosterone, growth hormone, and some types of anabolic steroids. More specifically, this covers anabolic steroids such as, again, my pronunciation of things might be off here, oxandrolone and nandrolone. That nandrolone rings a bell. Prescribed for medical conditions and human growth hormone, HGH, under endocrinologist oversight. So it's all above board. They're doing things that are technically legal if prescribed by doctors. I don't think you're going to get stuff like Trenbolone. That's one of the big steroids that I see bodybuilders using.
Yeah.
But these are not steroids that are going to get you massive in terms of building muscles, which we associate steroids with. These are steroids for performance. And if anyone doesn't know, steroids actually weren't invented for muscle mass, especially. They were invented for recovery. Do you know that?
No.
They were invented by, of course, who do you think invented steroids?
Mr. Steroid. Mr. Harry Steroid.
Mr. Russia is who invented steroids, of course.
Sorry, Russia. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry, Russia.
So I'm pretty sure they invented steroids, and it was all for recovery. So what they found with these compounds is when they injected like kind of unnatural levels of testosterone in between sessions of training, they were recovering much quicker. And friends and things like that who I know who've taken them have always said they just don't get any of the effects of like being fatigued. They can literally go all day, every day, and it's like it does to me. I mean, that's probably the most appealing part of it, like having a recovery system that's insane. But these, I think, in the enhanced games are going to be more for performance, and they'll make you recover quicker, train harder. It does beg a question of like long-term health and what that's going to do post games. Are we going to see any side effects? I think one of the big things that might shut the games down, if there's going to be anything that topples it, is if there's anything like adverse health effects or side effects post games or during the games. If we have any, touch wood, hopefully not, any deaths, things like that. Because you have to do medical screenings on all your athletes, make sure there's no hormonal issues, no heart issues, no liver, kidney, lung issues. All these things will have to be checked over. But again, it's probably going to be done in a very clinical way. So it's probably going to be done in the safest possible way. Do you know how much the games is costing to run?
No, I don't. But knowing, and I will come on to the founders in a little bit, knowing the history of the founders, I can imagine it's quite speculative.
They reckon it's around 1.2 billion it's going to take to put this on.
Really?
1.2 billion.
Okay.
I mean, if you've got all this kind of prize money flying around for different, like, £1 million if you break the 100-metre world record.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money being thrown around.
There is. I mean, I mentioned the founders there as well. Do you want to go into the last bit of your notes before I...
Yeah, I'm just going to obviously go over a little bit more of the drugs and things like that,
Yeah.
because it's not our speciality. I mean, do you know what would have been really good? I was thinking about it, but it's obviously short notice. Getting a specialist on in, and we still really want to do this at some point, get a specialist on in steroids, performance enhancing drugs, someone who knows this like the back of their hand, someone who's willing to talk about it. There's a guy who's quite well known online who I think might be up for this.
Okay.
He's quite good at answering people back online. I know bodybuilders have messaged him, quite low level ones. He's called Dave Crossland. He's been around for ages.
Okay.
He actually runs a blood company now where they take your bloods and they'll tell you all your kind of different vitals. I might reach out to him at some point, see if we can get him on. But
Let's get the audience as well. If the audience can message Dave Crossland.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Make him aware, yeah.
It says at the heart of the Enhanced Games is a performance enhancement protocol, a medically supervised IRB approved clinical framework that ensures all enhancements are, in their framing, safe, legal and scientifically guided. An independent medical commission made up of specialists worldwide is involved in the protocol system, paid by the organisation, but not directly working for it. Prosthetic limbs and advanced shoe technology will also be allowed.
Okay.
That's interesting. So are they combining like the Paralympics and the Olympics? That's
Maybe.
Let me read that again. Prosthetic limbs and advanced shoe technology will also be allowed. So there are shoes that are also banned in certain races. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I have, yeah.
So there's, obviously we have these carbon shoes now with carbon plates in there, a lot of runners, but there are rules around how flexible and how much spring that carbon plate can have. There are, Puma created this shoe that is completely illegal, but it is supposed to be the fastest shoe available because it gives you so much spring. But it's banned from like major marathons and things like that.
I can't stop coming back to thinking these athletes who have said yes, how do we know? They'd probably just bang average compared to like by Olympic standards. I mean, why else would you? If you have a chance of becoming Olympic champion, why would you throw that away? To go for these experimental games. If you are middle of the pack, money, yeah.
You're basically sacrificing a little bit of your reputation for that. And just going back to the Irish athlete, I was saying he got paid 18,000. He also came out and said it'd be absolutely stupid not to take. I mean, he said, yes, look, medals and things like that.
Yep.
You know, they pay certain amounts of bills, but I'm not living a life of Riley, which I could be if I just jump ship to another organisation. I mean, boxers change promoters, right? They fight in different federations. Yep. We talked about Tyson Fury going over to Saudi. Do you blame these athletes if they're not getting paid their worth in the Olympic Games and they're kind of mid-level athletes and they've got this opportunity to go and compete in a sport where it's a bit wild west? It reminds me a little bit of the UFC when the UFC was coming up. I've been into the UFC for a long time, and when I got into it, it wasn't known as the UFC like it is now. It was called cage fighting.
Yeah.
And everyone thought this fucking barbaric sport of cage fighting. My dad used to say, why the fuck are you watching this? It's horrible. But we did a bit of an overcorrection. So when we found out wrestling wasn't real, we were like, right, we want something really, really real. I want to see proper blood now. So we started jumping onto UFC and we got into all the kind of different various parts of that. And it was a bit like Wild West. Like you got these crazy characters in the UFC who were just barbaric, love scrapping. I think the Enhanced Games could be, if it's done right, and maybe if they work with someone like Dana White, potentially, who's a fantastic promoter of these kind of sports, it could become quite big. And it could be seen as just like, I mean, how much bigger, really, I would say, is UFC than boxing right now?
Yeah.
It's surpassed it. No one ever thought that would be the case. Boxing was always the gold standard. Now it's kind of seen, I don't know what the stats are in terms of income and viewership, but I would say viewership is probably higher than boxing, UFC.
I think it's going to be really interesting because obviously there's huge ethical implications with this, and just because you can doesn't mean you should. I know that's the overriding message for me. It's a bit like just because somebody can throw $1 billion at this and make it happen, should we do that? Are we encouraging people to sacrifice their body for science? Because one note that I've made here is it just seems to be a big research and development test. So you look at the world of bodybuilding and what that's done for our industry. I don't get the world of bodybuilding. All right. I think to the extreme levels, I find it a bit weird. I always have done. I don't understand. It's not my thing at all. But what that research has done by people using their bodies as guinea pigs and taking things to the extremes, we've then sort of figured out what the human body is capable of, and then how we can, if you do this, that's the top dose. Right, cool.
And unfortunately, what it's not capable of.
Yeah, and what it's not capable of. So you have to think about, are these athletes aware of that? Have they considered that? Or are they just thinking, well, I'll just do this 1 games, I'll pay off my house, and then jobs are good. And you could do that. Pay off your house, break a world record, whatever, like set your family up for life, and then you could die from heart complications. Or nobody knows. Personally, I don't think that's worth it.
Well, it's a tricky one because I I've got some insight into what the top tier bodybuilders take when it comes to extracurricular supplementation, shall we say, and it's pretty ungodly, shall we say. It's levels of exogenous chemicals that would kill most people, but because they've tapered it up over time, over many years and decades, a lot of them, they can handle those things.
But then I think
that what these guys are going to be taking is such a low level dose compared to that. For now, maybe. But over time, you're right. If the Enhanced Games takes off, at Enhanced Games 2040, what does that look like? How much have the levels gone up? Where do we cap the usage? How are you going to control the cap on usage? That's a really tricky thing, because does it then become about, right, we're allowed to take it, but you can only take this much. And then does another federation come on and say, no, you can take as much as you want? It just keeps leveling up. And that's a bit of a dangerous game to play, isn't it?
The only reason bodybuilders push their bodies to that extreme is for that prestigious pro card, and because it's possible. Why do they do it? Because they can. They do it because there's an infrastructure there that supports, if you take your body to these extremes, you will get rewarded for it. From a reputational basis, from a financial basis. I'm a huge believer in looking at the structures and systems and being like, what if we take down that scaffolding? Does it actually hold, not just from a spectacle point of view, because it is quite mesmerizing to see somebody who's muscular beyond belief from a bodybuilding comparison. It's mesmerizing to see. I wouldn't want to do it, but if that's a fascination that people have got, it's like UFC, like that as a culture now. That culture's bred over time. And it's developed discipline. It's created this entertainment world. Like, this is entertainment, but at the cost of, is it that much dissimilar to something like UFC or boxing, where it can look a bit barbaric, where some people are putting their bodies on the line, but they're putting their bodies on the line from a skill perspective, hopefully. And there's no exogenous stuff in there, but I don't know. I'm very torn with this. I don't know if you noticed.
No, I can see that. Yeah. I think it's good to play devil's advocate. We need a voice like this. But I think it's tricky, because I think probably the founders of this have probably looked at like the Olympic Games and WADA and just seen how corrupt it is, and seen how many people are actually doping and doing stuff on the side in a competition where it's not legal to do. And they've probably gone, why don't we regulate this?
But is it an overcorrection?
Because
I don't remember anybody asking for it.
Yeah,
that's my thing. I'm like, no one's gone.
There's always been some rumours around it. There has been some rumours for many years around, would you just ever have an Olympic Games where you could just let people take anything? But there's always been that sense of, how would you even set that up? Who would you get in? These guys obviously gone, can we make it? Can we do it? Can we fund it? They've obviously gone, yes. Obviously, there's some of the investors, which we'll get onto. But there is a list of drugs that aren't allowed. Should we get onto that? So, for insurance reasons, only FDA-approved substances will be permitted. It says here, cocaine and heroin will not be allowed. Well, I think that was a given, to be fair.
I'd watch that. just seeing like people coked off their head and sprinting.
Well, that's how Maradona got caught.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that clip, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where it pans to him and he's like...
Yeah, he like basically celebrates a goal and he goes up to the screen and his eyes are like they're going to pop out his face. Yeah. And everyone's like, yeah, we should probably test Maradona. Just make sure he's not taking anything funky. Narcotics and recreational drugs such as cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine are prohibited due to safety risks, and athletes violating these restrictions will be disqualified. Athletes must pass a medical screening before competing and are required to report any substances they are using. There is no standardised pre-competition drug testing. This is a deliberate move to contrast with the WADA framework. That's interesting. Okay, shall we go on to prize money? We've mentioned a little bit about that. Obviously, did you read it was £1 million if you break the 100-metre world record?
Mm-hmm. I'm in training as we speak.
It says each individual event carries a prize total purse of £500,000.
So if you just win it?
If you just win an event, 500k.
Wow.
with £250,000 awarded to first place. Sorry, my mistake. So each individual event carries a total cash prize of 500 grand.
Okay.
But half of that goes to first place. So if you win an event, 250k straight off. Enhanced will also offer appearance fees and record-breaking bonuses, including a $1 million bonus for breaking world record in the 100-meter sprint and 50-meter freestyle swim. So the 50-meter freestyle swim is also up for 100 bags. Oh, 1 million bags, should I say?
Have you ever seen these studies where they pay people for being injected with experimental drugs? And they're essentially... Have you never seen this?
Yeah, I know they're testing on people for certain drugs, yeah.
I feel like this is people just giving their bodies up for science and being heavily compensated.
Yeah, but I guess there's a difference between experimental drugs by pharmaceutical companies and compounds that are, number one, actually legal in the USA if prescribed by a doctor. So there is FDA testing on these drugs. We have to remember that as well. Like all these drugs are FDA approved.
Touche.
For prescription by.
Yep.
It's not a complete gamble and risk. Unless you are, off your head on cocaine and heroin. Maybe we should start our own games.
Put that forward. The Coke Olympics.
The Coke Olympics. Brilliant. The controversy then. The backlash has been fierce. Officials from IOC and WADA have criticised the Enhanced Games as a reckless endeavour that could jeopardise the health of athletes. Travis Tygart, head of the US anti-doping agency, called it a dangerous clown show that puts profit over principle. But they've had to go money orientated, haven't they? Because if they don't put money into it, no one's going to jump over. So there's got to be some kind of incentive for doing these games. World Aquatics introduced a new bylaw banning anyone who supports or endorses or participates in events that embrace prohibited substances from competing in any World Aquatics competitions. So they've basically laid their law down and said, look, if you compete in this, it says even who supports or endorses it. That's interesting. So even if you're part of World Aquatics and you go, yeah, fair play to anyone who goes and does it, I'm not going to do it, you could potentially get banned for saying that. So athletes got to be very careful what they say publicly about the Enhanced Games. This means most participating swimmers are effectively giving up their mainstream competitive careers. WADA also called on governments and law enforcement agencies to access whether athletes who take PEDs for Enhanced Games or the physicians who supply and administer them may be in breach of criminal laws. So WADA's basically playing the underhand tactic and saying, look, let's get some of our own actual governmental checks being done on these athletes just to make sure that they are only taking what is federally legal.
Yep.
And I can see why WADA's done that, because they're probably thinking, oh, well, there's going to be certain guidelines, but I guarantee they might be taking things that aren't within the guidelines. Again, that's another whole topic of conversation. On the legal front, the Enhanced Games launched an $800 million lawsuit against World Aquatics, USA Swimming, and WADA. Wow. Alleging their ban amounted to a breach of US antitrust law. But the claim was ultimately dismissed by New York courts in 2025. That's interesting. So they tried to sue. Those agencies under the US antitrust law.
I think this is a good time to bring up who's actually putting the money behind this.
Yes.
I really do.
Absolutely.
Now, Ryan, ever since you've turned me onto a YouTube channel called Fern, I have binged Fern stuff.
Have you?
And my brain is just like so full. And it's a video called How Peter Thiel is Destroying Democracy. Do you know who Peter Thiel is?
I do know Peter Thiel is the investor. Yep.
So Peter Thiel founded PayPal, Palantir, which is essentially like a surveillance software. He had a huge fallout with Elon Musk. And just to make the link between all these people, so Aaron D'Souza, who is the founder of the Enhanced Games, he was Peter Thiel's litigation officer against somebody called Gawker Media.
Yep.
And I don't know so anyone who's not familiar with this, Gawker Media were essentially calling out a lot of unethical things, basically. And sometimes they're a bit cruel, but they were essentially calling out things that they didn't think was right in the world, and Peter Thiel fell under that category for them. Then, I can't believe I'm mentioning Hulk Hogan in the Enhanced Games.
Wow.
But Hulk Hogan had essentially a sex tape leaked by this company called Gawker Media.
Right.
Because they'd come after Peter Thiel before, Peter Thiel bankrolled Hulk Hogan's legal campaign.
Oh, wow.
And buried Gawker Media. So what I'm trying to say is Peter Thiel has history for trying to silence people by destroying them with legal fees.
Yeah.
This has really affected me, because I said to you before we started recording, I feel like an investigative journalist because I've seen these names pop up and I'm like, hang on, what's going on here?
Done a bit of research.
And this is a guy who has bankrolled Trump's presidential campaign. This is a guy who has some very shifty dealings with, he's a very wealthy man who, in my opinion, thinks he can just throw his money around and do whatever he wants as long as it falls in line with his ethical beliefs and standards. And he will align himself with projects and with people who are disruptors to democracy. And I'm not going to lie, mate, I don't like that.
He is the definition of money talks.
Yeah.
Money wields power, and he uses that money in very powerful ways. Yeah. I know a little bit about Peter Thiel. He's mainly known for being an American financier, essentially, but he's an investor in countless things. Extremely wealthy man.
Yep.
But Aaron D'Souza, they knew each other through some. I think Aaron D'Souza. So it says here he studied legal philosophy at the University of Melbourne, and he's been to Oxford as well.
To confirm as well, everything I've said about Peter Thiel, I'm pretty sure that's factual. But anyone's welcome to reach out for comment, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, D'Souza's obviously got a lot of connections as well.
Yep.
He had a company that was a technology company, infrastructure company in the Asia-Pacific region, and it was worth $52 billion. He sold his shares in that. It's not really known how much D'Souza's worth. His accounts aren't public online, but they reckon he's probably in the billions. And he's got a lot of backers for this. It says Thiel, German tech billionaire, Christian Angermayer. Who else is in there? Donald Trump is amongst the backers.
Junior, I think.
Donald Trump Jr. Yes, sorry, I missed that. Yeah. Sorry, my mistake. Donald Trump Jr. is also amongst the backers. So it's interesting to kind of see how far and wide the backers for this spread.
Like I said, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
But it's all sketchy characters, basically. There are a lot of them are
quite questionable characters.
Questionable characters.
Very questionable characters.
Yeah.
And again, I think we're in a world where, if we value money above all things, I don't think your ethics are going to spread very far. But if we do actually look and think, what do I value actually? Like, I wouldn't mind seeing someone run, 100 meters in 3 seconds, but do I care about it that much? Probably not.
I'll be honest with you. I think if people are willing to do it, in my opinion, fuck it. Let them do it.
Why not?
I'm also a big advocate of free choice. We should be able to do whatever we want. Like, who are we to tell people what to do with their bodies? Do you know what I mean? No one's making these people do it. That's a big thing for me as well.
Yeah.
Like, no one's making these athletes do this. They've just seen an opportunity and they think it's the right thing for them. Let people go and do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, let people make their own minds up. They might do one games and go, actually, I didn't enjoy that. I didn't enjoy how that made me feel, the intensity of it, the backlash afterwards. Didn't enjoy how my body, felt after taking so many, exogenous chemicals. I'm not going to do it again. Perfect. You made a mistake, did it. You live with the consequences.
Can't go back to your sport.
Can't go back to your sport, but you sign that kind of, you sign your name on the dotted line and you basically, you're dicing with the devil, essentially. But let people do what they want. Who cares? I think it'll be cool. I honestly think it'll be cool. In these kind of games, they're going to make it exciting. They're going to make it a spectacle. With the characters that are involved, with the money that's flying around, they're going to make this a real performance, essentially, aren't they? And I think it'll be good to watch. I actually, all in all, I think it'll be a net positive, especially this first one. I think the sketchiness will get around if it takes off and it starts to become a main thing every year, and because people want to see more. You're not going to, if you do what's the current world record on the 100 meter? Is it 9?
It's like 9.7 something seconds, I think it is. I'm gonna
Let's say
find that
someone does it in 8 seconds this year, right? Let's say there's an 8-second 100 meter.
out. 9.58.
9.58. Right. So let's say someone takes a whole second off there, which in 100 meters is massive. So someone does it in 8.5, right? So we get an 8.5 100 meter sprint. What happens next year? What happens the year after? 5 years, 10 years from now, we all want to see that record being broke, and it ain't going to get broke by taking the same amount of stuff. You're going to have to start taking more stuff.
What I'm hearing is there will be people brought up on this, knowing that it's a possibility, knowing that the earlier I get on with this,
That's it. That's a great point.
As dad of a son, you know, I don't want him thinking, well, I could do that one day, but if I start now and I know this dodgy guy in the gym who can get me something, and then that might be me at the Enhanced Games one day. Respectfully, fuck these people.
Brad, that's a really good point.
I'm sorry, mate.
I'm glad you brought that up, because again, we're parents. It's a parental podcast, and we've got skin in the game in terms of our kids in sport, which we both want our kids to be heavily involved in sport as they grow. Do we want to send that message to them and say, look, there's a potential for you to go and put stuff in your body and do things in quite a bit of a sketchy way? I probably wouldn't. I mean, I've spent my whole life saying no to this stuff. I've been through the whole, bodybuilding style training, been around people for years that have taken it and said no. Yeah. I would like to think I could pass those kind of morals and ethics on to my own children to say, just do it by yourself. The reward's there if you don't take it. It's a tricky one, that is, because I kind of want to see the Enhanced Games personally. And for my own pure amusement and enjoyment, I would love to see that. But what message is that sending to the future generation? It's a good point.
I'm saying this as someone who has to take medication every fortnight. I take an injection to basically stop my body attacking itself from an immune perspective. Obviously, as you know, I've got an autoimmune condition, and it's a weird one to live with, because if I didn't have to take it, I wouldn't.
Bit of Nandrolone, mate, you'd be fine.
Yeah, just kick on, chuck some Tren my way. All right, what's to make your joints? I'm not bothered. But again, it's that, if I didn't have to take it, I wouldn't. But that comes from having health and then not having it. And I can make that well-rounded choice to be like, anyone who chooses to do it for glory or finances, I think I struggle to relate. And I think I always have done, because I'm like, so you would rather... I always think this about Ronnie Coleman, right? If somebody proposed to Ronnie Coleman, right, don't take things as extreme as what you did, and you might be able to be a bit more mobile in your later life. Would you do it? Ronnie Coleman would probably say no, because he's had the glory. But how many nearly Ronnie Colemans were there who did that, didn't get the glory?
Yeah,
they'd probably switch it in a heartbeat and be like, I would dumb chasing that. Yeah. There might be tons of people doing that with the Enhanced Games. They don't break the world record. They completely destroy the relationship with the governing bodies for the sport. They can never compete at Olympics again. And they might have got a couple of bags for taking part, but they were just a bang average athlete at an Enhanced Games.
For a lot of these athletes, though, it isn't a small amount of money. Like, no. 250k for winning. There's a £500,000 or $500,000 purse per event. So even if you're coming in 10th, you're probably walking home with at least, let's say 10k. Yeah. You're going to be covered for the drugs that you've taken, the training, what it's costing.
What do you do for the rest of your time though? After them games are finished,
if there's more, you prep for the next one, and it's going to be interesting to kind of see how frequently these games are on. Do you want to have a little look into that maybe? I was just typing, is there any...
I'm going to suspect that they've not planned past the first one.
No, I reckon they will have. I reckon they will have.
Enhanced Games...
They must have been asked, how frequently are you going to hold these games?
Frequency. All right. The Enhanced Games, designed to be annually.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow, that's interesting.
Right, I'm going to say this now. I think the people who have planned this have literally looked at what the current system is and just decided to do opposite. And I feel like they don't know anything about sport or longer term impact of... I don't think they've considered anything. They've gone, chuck some money at it, see what happens.
I think if they said it was every 2 years, I think that might be a little bit better in terms of giving people enough time to train. But I also think I think the enhanced games isn't in the same category yet as like the Olympic Games. It's nowhere near the same caliber, right? I think it's in the same pit right now as like CrossFit. Yeah. That's where I see it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do a CrossFit Games every 4 years.
No, that's a good point.
To get new audience members and to get people on board, you need to be doing this stuff more regularly. I mean, I never, ever watch shot put week to week. But if it's on the Olympic Games, I'm well into shot put. I want to see those big bastards spinning that ball around and lobbing it as far as they can. But I get into it when it's there. Now, if it was on more regularly, would I watch it? Yeah, I might watch it if it's on. If the Olympic Games is on every year, I probably would give it a little watch. But it's got a viewership. It's got a captive audience on the BBC who are going to come in there every 4 years and watch it because it's the Olympic Games. You know what you're getting. You don't really know what you're getting with the enhanced games yet. You don't know how good it's going to be. It's got no viewership. It's got no audience. So I think having it more frequently from building the audience perspective is probably a good thing for them.
Yeah, I think they're always going to struggle competing with the Olympic Games in this prestigious legacy that they've got. Because do you know how old the Olympic Games is?
Well, I know Hitler attended them back in the day.
How old do you think?
I'm going to say early 1900s.
Oh, yeah, 3,000 years old.
What? Is it?
3,000 years old.
So it goes back to the Romans, does it?
Dating back to 776 BC.
And it's been held every 4 years since then?
I'm not too sure 4 years, but oh yeah. Right, here we go. Ancient Games began in Olympia in Greece, which is why it's called the Olympic Games, as a religious festival honouring Zeus occurring every 4 years.
It's been held every 4 years?
For 3,000 years.
That is phenomenal. I mean, I can see why they're trying to do it every year now to compete with that.
But how do you compete against that? That is living history.
Yeah.
That is prestigious.
Yeah.
It's not some tech wanker throwing money at it.
That blows my mind. So the Olympic Games is one of the oldest traditions that we do today. And it's still probably the biggest, oldest tradition that we do.
Obviously, there's ancient games and there's modern games. So I think from here, the ancient games ran... I can never do conversion between BC and AD. But then obviously it got revised for the modern games from like 1896. But
okay,
yeah, obviously there's a gap there.
I want to know what the events were in that very first.
Should we find out?
Yeah, let's find out. So in the very first Olympic Games,
what games?
What were the events like? What did they do?
What games
were
in the
war?
Ancient? Oh, mate, you're gonna like this.
Go on.
They had the Stadion, which is the sprint. What? What the hell? There's a long distance. There were discus, javelin, jumping, wrestling.
Wrestling was in there.
Boxing. All-out combat. Bring that back.
All-out combat. What's that?
Back.
What's the rules on that? Is that MMA?
Just fuck each other up.
Yeah, basically, yeah. To the death.
All-out combat. Oh, hang on, I'm trying to find it now.
Well, I mean, death was a big thing back then. I mean, this is around the time when, obviously, they used to have... what was it? In the Colosseum, they used to have games in the Colosseum where you would fight to the death. I wonder if that was part of.
I mean, they were slaves, to be fair. I don't think they were any prestigious.
Yeah, true. Maybe the Olympics was more proper high-end athletics.
Chariot racing and armed running.
Chariot racing, bring that back.
Can you imagine?
That'd be really cool, wouldn't it?
I'm not. If dressage is in there, get chariot racing.
I know. Yeah, get dressage. Come on,
give me chariot racing. Come on. But yeah, that's nuts, isn't it? Like boxing introduced in. I'm sorry, 688 BC, featuring leather straps around the knuckles.
That's cool. So there were more MMA gloves, basically.
That's sick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
it's fascinating, isn't it? Because we always think that we've moved on as a civilization so much since then, but there's still things they were doing back then. Boxing training back 3,000 years ago.
I mean, they did have artistic competitions as well, featuring poets.
Oh, did they?
So
an artistic competition?
Yeah.
That's known as a grime battle nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah. Spoken word. 8 Mile. Yeah. There you go. There's Brad's roundup of the ancient Olympic Games.
Fascinating. Yeah. Well, it has. I mean, it's always changing even now, isn't it? They're constantly adding new things in there. Did they recently add golf? I think that was like something in the last decade they had in there. Golf was never in there, was it? And they had that in there.
Skateboarding, I think.
Skateboarding came in, yeah. Do you know they want to make paddle part of the Olympics now?
I can see that.
Could you?
Yeah, I mean, if tennis is in there, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and paddle's it's got quite a big history. It's not just
No, I
you
know that.
for,
yeah.
for
Well, we
what-
know that from having on Alex Fleming, right?
and it's not just for washed up footballers like me.
Although there are a lot of washed up footballers
There
playing
are-
it.
that seems to be the big demographic. To be honest.
Yeah, what else have they tried to add in there? They tried. What was the other one they tried to add? Oh, they're trying to do cross. Oh no, it was high. Was it High Rocks? I think.
They're trying for High Rocks.
Yeah,
aren't
they're trying to get
Yeah,
High Rocks as part. That'll be hilarious to shut all the like CrossFitters up and to shut all the other bodybuilders up. High Rocks is now a recognised Olympic sport. That'd be nuts.
But then they've still got like I've just put here like Olympic sports, and in 2024 they introduced artistic swimming, which is a team acrobatic routine, which it's classed as artistry, I suppose. Yeah. So they're still
They're constantly updating it.
constantly updating it. Kayak cross, breakdancing.
Oh yeah, that's
That
right.
with the one in 2024, wasn't
yeah,
it?
with the Australian lady.
Yeah, I mean, she went viral. Good on her. What a legend.
I think the worst part about that is she actually thought she was quite good, and she went viral because she was like, "Why is everyone taking the piss out of me?" She genuinely believed like I'm something special.
Yeah.
I mean, she's probably better than 99% of people in the world at breakdancing, but compared to those elite guys,
Yep.
it was a bit naff on it.
Surfing as well.
Surfing,
Has that
that not always been a part of the Olympic
Continues
Games?
after its 2020 debut.
Interesting. 2020. Okay.
Fair play. Good luck having that in like somewhere like Norway.
Yeah.
Like, good luck.
Anything else you want to add on to the enhanced Olympic Games episode?
I mean, I feel like anyone listening to this is probably going to know where I stand with it. I think it's a dumb idea. But I don't know. I get why these thought experiments happen. And this could be, right, something where these rich tech billionaires have sat down, had a drink, and do you know what we should do? It just sounds like one of them ideas.
One of the pub ideas.
Yeah.
You in the pub with
Yeah.
your mates and you go, yeah, imagine all the Olympic athletes juiced up. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
I
Yeah.
think I've got trust issues with billionaires. I think that's what it is.
I agree. Oh, I think we should.
Yeah.
For good reason, right? We shouldn't
Taylor
tr-
Swift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, Swifties.
But yeah, I'm also of the opinion of like let people do what they want to do. If billionaires put this event on a plate for athletes and say this is the rules, who wants to do it? Let athletes choose. I'm a big fan of free choice. Let people make their own decisions. I've just seen this little bit about the Irish athlete. He said quite an interesting statement. He said people's opinions aren't going to pay me. That was his statement and reason for competing in the Olympic Games, in the enhanced games.
But there's other ways to get paid, though.
There is, but if you are just like a mid-level to low-level Olympic athlete and you want that, and you're never going to get that big payday that you want, and you've been doing it for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, something like this comes along, and you go, why not? It's enticing.
Yeah.
I guess one other thing that I want to add is closing ceremony. They are going to have one.
Okay.
It's going to be by Las Vegas band The Killers, and there'll be a live after party DJ set from Ruckus. I don't even know who Ruckus is.
The irony of the Killers playing. It's fucking mad.
Oh god, yeah.
That's mad. I'm sorry, right? Hey, I'm sorry. The irony. I'm not having it.
Yeah, that is a little bit close to
It's
the edge,
a bit
isn't it?
close to bone, isn't it?
Yeah, they haven't really thought that one through.
No, I'm trying to think of other
The Killers.
other band names that involve drugs.
It says here, so even if you're not there for the sports, there's a decent gig going on. But yeah, I do think that they're obviously going for this. It's obviously something that's going to be big in the mainstream. I heard about the idea. I heard there was getting funding. I heard about some of the characters that were involved, and it went a little bit quiet for maybe a year, 2 years or so. And I think this has been around. It's been organised for a while. This, and then recently, so obviously we're coming up to it now. It's obviously on May 21st to 26th. So we're just over 6 weeks away now. I've seen a lot of the athletes being interviewed. I've seen a lot of the physiques from these athletes, and there's a lot of juicy traps knocking around on these interviews. So I'm interested. I'll be honest with you, I probably am going to watch it, mate. Are you going to watch it?
I mean, we've discussed it for long enough.
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll be ashamed not to.
Might have
We
to.
might have to do a follow-up, a post
Was it a
enhanced
success?
games debrief. Was it a success? What did you think? There'll be some controversy, I'm sure, around it all. Hopefully, touch wood, health-wise, everyone's okay. We're not talking about some, health issues that people have had or worse. But yeah, I'll be watching with intent.
I've gone down a rabbit hole, mate, of trying to find bands that have basically got like drugs in the name. So I found Crystal Method,
Right?
Morphine,
They should all be on the
China White,
they should all be on the list.
Loads of Acid, Chicks on Speed.
Acid House.
But yeah, no, sorry, mate, I've gone down a rabbit hole there. Yeah, I fully agree. I feel like we should definitely do a
debrief.
a debrief just to, again, see what thoughts were. My concern is, are the founders going to become, well, the people funding this, I suspect that they're going to be the main stars of this games.
Do you think so?
Mate, look at FIFA World Cup that's happening. The stars of that World Cup are going to be Trump and Gianni Infantino, who's FIFA's president.
Do you reckon they're going to be on all the games?
It's going to make you sick in your mouth. Right? Anyone who's watching World Cup in US, I'm bordering on boycotting it because I can't be arsed anymore.
Yeah.
Just get ready, because
It's going to be fascinating to go to a country where you're there at war with someone right now.
Yeah.
Like you go into a place to watch sport where in another country they are literally dropping bombs. That's odd, isn't it? It's a bit like having it in Russia, knowing they're at war with Ukraine.
It does make you wonder, and it's a bit like, if I watch this, am I adding to their optics? Am I actually earning them money?
Also, as well,
Yeah.
if I was going there, which I'm not, for the FIFA World Cup, would I be a little bit concerned about them potentially being invaded by Iran? Like,
I don't think they'd let us in, mate, after this podcast. Well, mate, they won't let me in.
will they not?
Have you not heard? Right, okay. No, I'm not going to say that.
No,
No.
I want to know. No, come on, mate. I want to know why you can't get into the US.
Not me. As in, like, if I've heard, suspected, by the way.
Okay.
Right, if you put out a dodgy tweet,
Right.
at the minute, if you try and get in the US, I'm not convinced that they don't go through stuff and be like, oh, they've criticised Trump in the past.
Have you criticised Trump online?
I'm probably criticising him right now. So yeah, if they can source this and be like, oh yeah, we can see that you've not spoken too fondly of our high and mighty leader.
Fascinating, that, isn't it? Like, add a list. That's just the power of the online stuff. You can scan everything, see what
knows?
you're saying. Yeah.
Who knows? So yeah, I feel like I dealt with that pretty poorly.
I thought you were about to tell me some odd criminal conviction you had there.
No.
But yeah, look, mate, it's something we'll be watching with intent. We will do a bit of a debrief. One other thing that I wanted to mention before we finish is we are changing the day of our podcast release. So we had one go out recently on a Monday, and we decided that that's going to be the episode release date each week now. So Monday morning, 6 a.m, you'll get it, as opposed to Friday morning, wasn't it now? So you'll get it start of the week. They're ready to listen to at any point in the week where you want. Just a kind of quick note on that one. And as always, if you're enjoying the episodes, like, share, subscribe, even leave us a review. Those things all help massively, and it's just a touch of a button for you guys. So yeah, it massively helps us out, and we will see you, as always, on the next one.
See you soon.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Good episode.
Appreciate that.